Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and of course we are playing Chronotopia second skin. Things are not going good, because as you can read, this is a line we kind of ended the episode with yesterday. We are starting this with today like that as well. Basically, imperceptibly, the relationship between the two maidens had gone cold. That's right. They were simply too distracted by their own personal concerns to realize it yet. It only took a few weeks for the spark to arise. Yep, we are going into war between the two, I guess. Harvest had made way for the next big activity. Flo and Kionna now had to thresh the sheaves of wheat with flails to extract their grain. Once this was done, Anzilmi took over the winnowing. Thanks to a wicker basket with a strange shape, one of its ends was flat, the other end she shook the ears of wheat in the gentle breeze so that the grain's husk would be blown away. For once this operation, which was more repetitive than tiring, was entrusted to him, and so the young woman took the opportunity to sit in the grass to watch him from afar.
It is nice to rest for a change. True. We're usually the ones getting lumbered with the thankless tasks. But it'd be even better if my father could assist us during the harvests. Or the threshing. I'm certain that his wound will heal eventually. I hope so. It would be way easier for the farm if my father was restricted to minor activities. There's practically nothing he can do anymore except cooking. Come to think of it, I have never dared to ask before, but what happened exactly? How did your father injure himself?
Flora's face darkened.
It happened a few months ago, not long before your arrival. My father had gone to the valley in the early morning to make the cattle grease when all of a sudden, one of the king's horse riders who was escorting him during a hunting party burst into view in full gallop. We learned later that he had got lost and was trying to cross the meadows to join the rest of the group. In his hurry, he didn't pay attention to my father, and one of the sheep threw himself under the horse's hoofs. The charger was pretty scared and moved aside to avoid it, but instead of crashing the sheep, it collapsed on my father, knocking over the squire in the process.
Wow.
The charger hit him with full force. It broke one of his legs. It took him some time to even walk again.
What a regrettable incident. Incident? Are you kidding me? That was no incident.
We were lucky in our misfortune. The squire also walked away unscathed. Just like the horse, for that matter, even though this kind of fall is usually fatal. Princess Griselda was absolutely furious when he learned the news. He even showed up to her house to intimidate us and kept saying over and over again that if the horse ever had an injury that could prevent him from galloping again, he would force us to pay compensations.
What a son of a... you know what. The guy is an ass. Flo, I hope you will not go after him.
We would have never been able to fulfill such a request.
That's a lie! What the fuck are you talking about? Before the... What lie? What the fuck are you talking about? Before the young farmer's astonished eyes, Kionna got back on her feet and pointed an accusing finger at her, foaming with rage.
A man as kind as Prince Griselda would never do such a heinous thing. What are you talking about?
And you are saying that based on what? I can't, dude. No sooner had she said that than Flo's face became distorted with fury as she took a similar stance.
You dare say them lying? I think that you are making up stories. You must have misunderstood his words. The Lord can only care about his people.
Right. I mean... Kionna, I mean, you could look even at your own family. Your own father. Who literally got rid of the only source of the gold for your kingdom. Really? They care about...
I was there and I remember what he said perfectly well. He had no sympathy for us, none. Impossible. A monarch like Prince Griselda is much too refined to insult his vassals.
Wow.
And I believe that's just what you did. You're simply refusing to face the truth. He's a noble who puts his own interests before others, that's all.
Yep. Sounds like a noble.
You have no right to say such things about nobles. Oh yeah, prove me wrong then.
From the very beginning, you have been full of prejudices. Nobles are like this, nobles are like that. You simply see the world through the distorted lens.
Like you are the one to say something like that.
You only heard slanders from Prince Grisel's mouth because that is what you wanted to hear.
How can you say such a thing? You're out of your mind, my poor Kionna.
I'm perfectly sane, thank you. Yeah.
At some point you're going to need to wake up. We don't live in the donkey's kingdom where everyone is nice and all is well. We're in the real world. It is a fair world in which awful things happen to good people who don't deserve it. It is an absurd world in which a horse's life is worth more than a human being's, and in which you serve to feed a selfish king who only thinks about amusing himself. If you don't like it, too bad for you because you don't have a choice.
Why is that you always imagine the worst?
Because that's my freaking daily life. I live in the worst, I breathe the worst, I cannot escape it. Only privileged people like nobles can allow themselves to have peace of mind in such a suffocating world.
Are you ever going to stop with your head at the nobles?
If that's what bothers you, be my guest, go find your noble friends. In the meantime, we'll keep on slaving away and earning our bread and butter.
Flo stopped yelling and walked away, leaving an equally angry Kionna alone. I'm not on Kionna's side. I'm not. Frustrated by this interruption that made it look like the farmer had won the argument, because she did, she immediately rushed in the opposite direction. Honestly, at this point, I would kick Fiona out of my area. I mean, out of the house if it was mine. I would not hesitate at all. The two maidens did not speak to each other for days. It greatly annoyed Anselmi and Huguette, who did not ask for such an icy silence at mealtimes, nor did they ask to act like intermediaries for all daily chores. The two maidens did not speak to... I totally read that. As the situation quickly became unbearable, the princess decided that she had to be the one to apologize because it would prove that she was magnanimous and did not give in to the pettiness. I mean, you have to... Because, I mean, Flo has nothing to apologize for. Naturally, her request for forgiveness did not ring very true, since Kionna was still convinced that Flo was unwilling to see Princess Grisel's true nature because of her bias against nobles. What true nature? What would you know about his true nature, Kionna? What? Dude.
Honestly, can we, like, switch a main character, please? Can we switch a main character? I'll repeat the question. Can we switch a main character?
Yet the farmer gladly accepted her apology. Yeah, she was still very fond of her affiant, and it broke her heart to be accused like that. From that fateful day, nothing would ever be the same again, and the relationship between the two girls started to dramatically deteriorate. In addition to the already palpable tension, the grain storage confirmed the Anselm family's dire prediction. The wheat supplies were much too scarce, and it seemed impossible to sustain over a whole year with such a reduced portion of bread. The three farmers were talking together almost every morning to try and find a solution.
And when the dusk all the people I know, their anonymous harvest meal poor for everyone. So famine has heard then. Is there a family in our area who would accept to help us? Unfortunately, those who had helped us in the past confirmed that they would be unable to renew the commitment.
That's understandable. They need to survive as well.
Understandable, but they are still closing the doors on us.
I mean, you feel bad. No comment. Throwing up all sorts of plans, the farmers thought about asking a distant relative for help, settling elsewhere or even as a last resort, leaving Flo to... What? No. No. So she could quit. That option out of the question. You must be kidding me here. However busy as she was imagining how to approach the prince, Kionna did not pay attention to those desperate conversations gradually retreated in the bubble. Those contemplative sessions were not lost for all that, as the princess eventually devised a strategy. probably nothing great. She needed the ferry operation, a bit of luck. Yeah, of course you needed someone else to get in there. Of course.
As always.
At the slightest lapse of the attention on the part of farmers, she rushed all the way up to the hill to secretly summon her godmother.
Do you need me, my child?
Kionna marked a pause as Medea appeared. She had not gazed at the face since the night of her flight, and the pact that they had forged seemed like a distant dream. Cancel the pact, Medea, please. Honest, now I would like her to cancel it. Nonetheless, confronting once again those sharp eyes who were piercing through her flesh reminded her how formidable the fairy was, and she stumbled over a few words before pulling herself together.
Absolutely, godmother. I would like to ask for a favor. Again? Seriously, can't you do anything yourself? As long as your ambition remains reasonable enough.
It's not.
It should be within my capabilities. Go ahead. What do you wish? I would like to talk to someone who lives in not far from here. Would it be possible to lure them to a certain place at a certain time so that we could meet? Influencing the human mind is indeed fairly simple. I think I can easily fulfill this request. Who should I bring you? And where do you want this meeting to happen? I would like to lure Prince Grizzled to the lake tomorrow when he will be hunting. He will have to be alone. I have to make him wander away from his from his escort then. Very well, love. I'll grant that wish. All you will have to do is to indicate that you are in place, and I will draw the monarch to you. Thank you, godmother! Oh, but that is nothing. Serving you is my mission. Unfortunately. Good luck, princess. May that ruse give you the desired outcome.
Also, right now, like, Kionna's face expression is like, huh, this is what I deserve. Like, it pisses me off. Dude. Now that I think about it, do you think... Like, because now it crossed my mind, maybe. Do you think the ending with the prince might be like a bad ending, basically? I wonder. Because that would be quite interesting then. Anywho, Medea's pupils lit up with a grim glare as she disappeared in a whirlwind of colors. Ooh, grim glare. I like that sound. Kionna was in high spirits for the rest of the day, satisfied to be finally able to carry out her plan. How about you plan something which does not involve other people to help you? The next day, the young Moor offered the Anselmi family to go pick berries in the forest. Unsuspecting of her little scheme, they gladly accepted, considering that it was a good sign for her to be active. In reality, Kionna positioned herself by the lake, cleaned herself up to look presentable, and when she was sure to be alone, she used her chest to put on the dress the color of the sun. She had not made that choice by chance. It was her most dazzling outfit, her most opulent, richly adorned with jewels and precious fabrics. She fully intended to make quiet an impression on the sovereign. The princess was waiting patiently, mentally reviewing what she had to say and to seduce him, when finally her beloved appeared. Beloved, which she had not a single clue about, but whatever. Prince Grizzled had started his hunting party in a very ordinary way. He had threaded into the woods on his frisky horse to track the game. The sound horns he liked so much had resounded as the pack of hounds had started running after a deer. In before he's going to like ride on this horse, and once again he will be distracted and the horse will literally throttle on Kionna. Which would not be such a bad thing. That way, I mean, whoopsie. It would be a bad thing, but that way she would learn the true colors of the prince. Maybe. weird thought, but he could not bring his favorite hawk that day, but everything seemed as usual, and he was eager to bring back a good catch once again. And then he had followed a meandering path which had taken him further away from his huntsmen. Echoes of the tumult had faded little by little until he found himself all alone in a remote part of the forest. Disoriented, the sovereign eventually exited the woodland maze and ended up further down the hill without understanding what had happened. Noticing a lake nearby, he decided to take a break so that his horse could drink. As he was scanning his surroundings with some hesitation, Prince Grizel caught a glimpse of a light reflection coming from one side of the pond. He could not contain curiosity and walked in the direction while holding his horse by the bridle. As he was coming closer, he heard an angelic voice singing. Oh boy. Alright, let's turn on the banshee sound. Finally, his eyes were confronted by the most delightful object he had ever seen. What? It was a young woman who was stroking her hair while admiring her reflection in the water. I'm saying, but it's also because of personality, basically. Let's face it. Like, she really did strike a bad freaking chord in me with what she was saying earlier, by fighting with Flo. It was the young woman who was stroking her hair while admiring her reflection in the water. Her complexion was unusually dark, a skin tone had never seen on a court lady before. Her hair too looked out of the ordinary since they were frizzy like the wool of sheep and appeared just as silky. The priest admired her engaging lips. Her hazel eyes, which enhanced her brown eyelids, were shining with a fierce fire. Charmed by the apparition, he thought that such a supernatural being dressed in such a rich garments could only be a fairy or a nymph. Now, you know what? I'm curious about something. Can I have a look at the achievements? Okay. I wonder if you can have... No, I don't see it. I mean, it's a bad thing to what I'm doing right now, because I'm spoiling myself a little bit, but... Oh, okay, maybe there is something like that. 10 hidden achievements, who knows what's hidden. Basically, I was curious if... I mean, I will find out eventually anyway. But, like, right now, the curiosity attacked me with the question... Wait, could there actually be an ending where Kionna would do what the nobles do and, you know, go with the messed up idea of her father? Because at this point, that seems like the worst ending, kind of. Because it's messed up, but also it's true to the nobles. They do messed up things. So, I wonder if there is something like that. Anyway, I don't remember if I read this, but let's continue. Grizel timely came closer and said with a trembling voice,
Oh, 1,000 apologies!
Absolutely accurate voice of his.
Oh, for disturbing your rest, my lady. I lost track of my huntsmen. Have you, perchance, seen them pass through here?
And she's like, oh my god, he sounds like that? He sounds like that? No.
Oh, alas, my lord, no one has been seen that solitary place. Except you, but do not be disturbed. I'll put you on the right road again.
The monarch mentally expressed his gratitude to heaven for his extraordinary good fortune.
Oh, I've been accustomed to visit such places for a long time, but until today I was unaware of the wonderful treasure they might contain.
What do you mean? What are you babbling about now? Amused, the young woman smiled upon hearing these advances, but chose to stay humble, which is not her strong asset. Yeah.
You're far too kind, my lord.
With elegance, she guided him to road until the palace's roofs were finally in sight. She then bowed before him and pretended to take her leave. Dude, it would be hilarious if he didn't go after you again. Archives. Oof. Griselda Part 1. I'm still curious what's under number 5. Griselda.
Le patience de Griselidis.
Perfect French. No, it's not. It's probably not even French. 1691. Or simply Griselda. Let's go. Yeah. It is the very first fairy tale published by... You guessed right! Charles Perrault. Written the verses just like Donkey Skin and their ridiculous wishes. This text draws its inspiration from a legend already related by Boccaccio in the Decameron, the legend of the Marchioness of Saluzzo. Yeah, I knew it, of course. Yeah, totally. I mean, I had no idea even about the existence of Griselda, so yeah. We are introduced to a prince with a distrustful disposition. Yeah. He's convinced that women are prone to deceive. Yeah. And consequently obstinately refuses to marry. Yeah. I mean, dude, this is... I mean, to be honest, this is the situation in 21st century now. For all men, we are distrustful now. Although his counselors pressed him to give them a hair, he firmly believes that any virtue is only a masquerade to fall off as soon as the wedding ends and that no truly loyal and sincere woman can exist. I mean, there exists one like that, obviously. I mean, not one, but there exist women like that. It's just hard to find them, kind of. That is until he gets lost in the forest and one day while going hunting and ends up by a stream in an enchanting place. By chance the prince then meets a shepherdess named Griselda, with whom he instantly falls in love with thanks to her beauty and modesty. I mean, modesty is the last word you would use to describe Kionna. When he confesses to be lost, the young woman timely shows him out and he takes advantage of his opportunity to memorize the path so that he can see her again as regularly as possible. Okay. What a weirdo. The prince had mapped his place in his hand, only thought of seeing the maiden again and tried to delay their parting.
Boy, I'll see you again! I still have to thank you for this far, blade.
Knowing that you are safe and sound is already big enough reward for my lord.
Heh.
How do
I wonder if was... Dude, I want to know the story of Griselda now. Like the full insight. Was she also actually, you know, like the prince thinks she's cool and so on, but was she a faker as well? I'm curious.
How did you fancy to getting some peace? Far from the turpitudes of the court, you would find me in the same place should the weather be clear.
Prince Griselda walked away, consumed with curiosity, and soon had but one obsession, finding out who that beautiful stranger was. Right. Okay, this is a nice CG. Digging this. Kionna's plan had worked far beyond her expectations. The monarch was now regularly visiting to court her. And as she had done the day of their first meeting, she made sure to preserve the mystery around her identity in order to tease his curiosity. Thanks to her appetite for courtly love stories, she always knew exactly what to say to highlight herself. Of course it did not elude her that this little game sounded hollow, but she considered that it was simply how the game of love worked. And that she had to stack all the odds in her favor if she hoped to marry the prince. Griselda's diligence in coming to their trusts was however not without consequence. The young woman seemed even more absent-minded than usual, and the Azelby family did not fail to notice it, even though the reasons of that sudden disinterest completely eluded them. Flo first believed that it was her friend's way to cope with their disagreement, that she had definitely cut herself off from reality. She attempted to appear softer, to renew contact, but it seemed to plunge Kionna into a strange apathy. One rainy day, when the farmers had locked themselves in their shack to the shelter, Flo attempted to reach a definite reconciliation once more.
Say, Donkey Skin, can you tell me a story? You know how much I love listening to you.
Sorry, I'm not in a mood today. I would rather keep myself.
Is it my fault? It's because of last time. I don't want our relationship to end because of it.
Don't worry. It's nothing to do with you. I still need some time for myself. Wow. Kionna turned to the wall inside with a wistful look while doing her hair. She was dying to see the prince, but the rain made it impossible. Although his absence was tugging at her heartstrings, the memory of their tender trysts led her to smile into space almost despite herself. The princess thought she had done Flo a favor by rescuing her by freeing her of guilt, and she believed that there was no need to worry her, that everything would soon get better for her. Yet her apparent composure only aroused the farmer's suspicion. She was now convinced that Kionna was hiding something. Nothing seemed to matter to her anymore. Something must have happened. And Flo was determined to solve that mystery. Oh, she will follow her. She would so follow her, won't she? The following day, clouds gave way to the sun again, and the princess went to her rendezvous overjoyed. In her haste, she did not even notice that the young farmer had discreetly followed her. Let's go! In order to understand once and for all what was wrong, Flo had the ingenious idea of hiding in the reeds from a very distance. Thanks to her small size, she appeared almost undetectable while being close enough to be able to spy on any conversation. Kionna did not notice a thing and welcomed the prince just as usual. Seeing her friend in rich garments already took Flo aback, and the sudden appearance of the lord plunged her into a state of shock, making her perfectly speechless.
For Kionna, you gave me your name, but I have yet to know what led you here. What are you where are you from? And why are you always remaining nervous like?
What the heck? Dude, how? Okay. I mean, maybe you would not think that, but how come she's the princess of a kingdom? Not like a noble, right? A princess. Daughter of a king and queen. How do you not know? How do you not connect the dots? How do you not know the Princess Kionna? I mean, I guess maybe she's not that great overall. Maybe nobody actually cares about that kingdom. If you know what I mean. Actually, I'm curious if something happened to the kingdom. I mean, now that they don't have the donkey that produces gold, what is it? Maybe it did fall already. I'm curious. I would like to know.
Where are you from? And why are you always remaining in this lake?
Alas, my lord, this is a very sad story. No, it's not. She fell silent while taking a dramatic stance. Grizel pressed her and she pretended to give in, even though she had been secretly trying to confess everything from the very first day. However, she also decided to slightly distort reality to make it more interesting. Of course you'd do that. Of course. Why am I not surprised?
I am the princess of my neighboring kingdom. The king, my father, was deceived by a perfidious counselor and dismissed me.
Okay, that's bullshit what you're saying.
I've lost everything. That's why I came to take refuge in your beautiful country. Bullshit. What a horrible thing to do. How can one dare to disavow his own daughter?
As my lord, the poor man is not in control of himself anymore.
But how we managed to subsist since you exile?
I've been taken by a peasant family who is unaware of who I am. Well. Now they know.
They make me work from dawn to dusk as a scullery maid, but I'm fed and housed.
Wait.
I like to come here on my free time to meditate and dream of a better life.
Such louds! Then who is the dream and I will have them killed this very minute!
Do not take this trouble, my lord. They are simple-minded but not harmful.
Wow.
And I remain grateful to them for rescuing me.
I hope they will kick you out on this very day.
You're far good kind, Kionna. I cannot bear the idea of you being such a revenge.
This is the way it is, my lord. Fortune does not always smile on us.
Dora, your tears for Kionna. I know a way to bring your torments to a close.
Are you seeking to make a mockery of me, my dear lord? My father does not want to hear from me. Thus I am no longer a princess.
Grizel took her hands with passion.
I love you, and I'm ready to marry your assistant. Beep. What? By my side, I will recover the glory due to your status. Will you agree, lovely Kionna?
Ah, you're thinking with joy? I did not dare to think an exile like me would have the right to be loved by a monarch like you. If I suit you, I swear to become your wife.
Am I not getting a choice here?
And to never have any other wishes than what you shall desire.
Shockflow was unable to hear the rest of the conversation. She remained motionless until the two lovers walked away and eventually fled into the forest. Yare does it. Anger seized her. From the very beginning, Kionna had been a princess, a distinguished noble woman, and she had always concealed it. Well, I guess it's time to kick her away, right? I mean, to be honest, what else is there to do? Even worse, all the times she had claimed to keep to herself, she had been lying to meet the prince. The farmer felt deeply disgusted, betrayed. She had thought Donkey's keen to be her friend, but the young wooer had never dared to confess who she truly was.
Yeah.
And she had no qualm making herself look good in front of Grizel by pretending she was mistreated. Flo violently punched the trunk of a tree. Pain could not make her forget the conversation she had overheard. Anger gave way to sadness and she did not know what to do anymore. There was still a glimmer of hope. After all, Kionna had appeared uncomfortable every time the young girl had criticized nobility. In all likelihood, she had simply failed to explain the situation to her friend. Perhaps things would get better if she were to confront her with the truth. That night, Flo took her parents aside to explain to them what she had heard. Of course, they were furious to have been deceived and were about to severely reprimand Kionna when the little farmer stopped them.
Please, I understand your anger, but I want to give her one last chance. Act as if nothing had happened and we'll make a decision later.
But Flo...
I just scared for sure, but I like to believe that this is all a misunderstanding. That I have misheard that the Donkey's king intended to tell us. Anything is still possible. If she comes to me to explain the situation, I'm willing to forgive her.
You're too nice, Flo. It'll be your undoing.
Yeah.
Probably, but this warrants in his kindness.
So be it. We'll wait before taking action, but she'd better have a good explanation.
In the meantime, Prince Griselt had gathered his council and announced with great pomp his decision to get married.
When did I step into that route?
There was great rejoicing as all councillors had lost hope of seeing their sovereign take a wife. A new file has been unlocked. Let's have a look. Griselda Part 2. In the course of their meetings, the prince becomes certain that Griselda is the ideal woman he has always been seeking and convinced himself to marry her. He asks for her father's consent and announces the news to his people without further delay while being careful to hide the bride's identity. The day of the wedding, everyone is greatly surprised to see him head for the forest. Griselda herself, dressed in her Sunday clothes, is about to leave her hunt to go see the procession when the prince picks her up, just in time to reveal that she's the one he has chosen. She first thinks that it is a joke before accepting and swears to always follow his will. The shepherdess is then turned to a magnificent princess by the court ladies and takes her place right beside her husband on a chariot made of gold and ivory. The procession returns to the town to parade, and the ceremony takes place in the new form. I imagine there will be part 3. However, eager to cause a sensation throughout the country, decided to keep Kionna's existence secret. Thus he added,
Yet I will wait for this great day to reveal my choice.
trolling the people. As soon as the news went public, the wildest rumors about the future bride's identity spread. Some were saying that the bride was a mere shepherdess, but that her charms emulated those of a lady of high birth. Others whispered that the chosen one was a duchess from a faraway kingdom who would arrive on the wedding day in a horse-drawn carriage followed by a procession of peacocks. I mean, kind of not far away from truth. Kionna was internally delighted with this commotion, and nothing filled her with vanity more than listening to the peasants she had met during the Midsummer's Eve gossiping about the new queen. Her head high, she was walking around them with the conviction that she had been chosen to rise above the masses, that she was an extraordinary woman, which she was not, as we know. Not a single day went by without Kionna dreaming of the princely life awaiting her, dreaming of the reward for all her efforts. If truth be told, she was so obsessed with the impending marriage that she barely perceived the changing behavior of the Anselmi family. The farmers indeed seemed especially affable, constantly asking her if she needed something or if anything was bothering her. Kionna was mildly touched, yet esteemed that it was unnecessary to tell them she was the bride. After all, she was nothing more than a stranger. Surely they would attach little importance to her happiness, besides she had already planned to send them more money after the wedding. I don't know if I believe that. There was no need to linger on. This reward alone would make them feel her good intentions, and they would promptly realize how fair she was as the queen. Yeah, perhaps they would even be flattered at the idea of having shared the day of today with her royal highness. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Prince Grizel visited the young Moor one last time before the great day. He announced with a boastful tone that he had managed to drive away her father's emissaries and that he was vouching for her safety, for which she was immensely grateful. And since he had a taste of grandiosity, he wanted to give her a ceremony worthy of her.
Fuck Kionna! I want our wedding to go down in history! You'll join me at the last moment of the great chariot made of gold and ivory. They'll take you on the vast ship I've built.
You have built, yeah, right. With your own hands? I highly doubt.
We'll cruise with this secret quest so that I can introduce you to all of them. At last we'll reach Dry Land and go to church on the same chariot. A huge banquet will await us in the castle, as well as 1,000 pleasures, dances, games, races, tournaments. Our reunion will be celebrated all over the country.
You honor me, my lord. I can't wait to appear at your arms.
A little patience, my angel. The caramel will be moored at the end of the dock, and the chariot will be hidden at the other end. I will only need to say that I have sent you, and the guards will let you in.
Will they, for? Will they?
As for the clothes, I've already prepared the cabin on the ship with full wardrobe and all the necessary personal fine ornaments you deserve. All you need to do is present yourself in your favorite dress and change during the cruise. Would this be acceptable to you?
Certainly, my lord.
Prince Griselda reluctantly parted from his future spouse and assured her how blessed he was to wed her. Kionna had no problems believing him, although she had no illusions about her lover's desire to impress his court either, particularly the other nobles. However, in her ignorance, she had forgotten to ask him one crucial piece of information. Not knowing the kingdom very well beyond the small farm of her adoptive family, she did not know where their meeting place could be located. But she blindly considered that all the farmers would not fail to go to such an important event, and she was bound to find her way. For safety purposes, she wanted to protect herself nonetheless. Oh boy, Tuesday that evening she took advantage of mealtime to talk about it to the Anselmi family.
I heard that the Prince Griselda is arranging a great celebration in honor of his wedding tomorrow. Is that true?
Absolutely, he's the talk of the town.
Would you possibly go there? I would like to see the procession. Besides, it is not every day that we can attend such festivities.
Of course, Donkey Skin will go the quarter tomorrow to watch the ship sail away. You can come with us.
Thank you very much.
All happy, the young woman proved to be particularly in a good mood. throughout the evening, even going so far as to spend time with the farmers, something she had not done in a very long time. They all looked thrilled, except for Flo, who seemed rather agitated. So agitated among that she did not hesitate to take her friend aside a bit later. Oh boy. What is Flo? Did you want to talk to me?
You know, Donkey Skin, I'm very happy that you spent some time with us. You suddenly became so cold and distant, it broke our heart at the time. Don't forget that we care about you, right?
Oh, how adorable you are. Kionna immediately took the young farmers in her arms. The latter wiggled to free himself from her grasp and tried to carry on with her speech with a completely serious look.
Let me finish. I want to tell you. I wanted to ask. If something were to bother you, a very important event about. If something were to bother you, do you promise that you would come to me talk about it?
Touched by so much kindness, the princess swore.
Naturally. After all, we are friends, are we not? Of course. I'm stupid for even asking.
See? However... Oh! Ooh. Kionna went to the bed, the very condition of delight, already dreaming of her wedding. Ooh, what's this? Whoop. Memory fragment collected. Oh, she'd been so active that she fell asleep from exhaustion. Green fairy, find memory fragment number 1. Yo. Oh yeah, it's here, okay. Hech. Well. I found something interesting, that's for sure. Now the question is... where will that get me? Where will that get... I wonder if those memory fragments actually will lead to anything. Probably you can open the chest or something, right? If you have all 4 of them. What else? She'd been so active that she fell asleep from exhaustion. In her blissful dreams, the young Moor was surrounded by smiles. In reality, she was surrounded by the 3 menacing silhouettes. The farmer's benevolent mask had dropped, replaced by a much sterner expression. Anselm and Haggett whispered to their daughter.
What are we doing now? I want to give her one last chance to extend my hand.
We cannot wait longer. The ceremony is imminent.
He's right. We have to act quickly.
What do you think, Flo?
She has to pay.
The next morning, the heiress was in an excellent mood. Oh, wait. The next morning. Let's end it for today, folks. We will continue tomorrow. And we'll see where this is all going. We'll see. I wonder what exactly they will do. Eventually we'll find out. Maybe tomorrow. I guess tomorrow. But honestly, I'm glad to see that Flo finally, realized. To be fair, to not keep, attacking Kionna constantly, which I do. Either Flo or her parents could have asked. They could have asked. They wouldn't even need to say anything. They could be like, well, your questions were super suspicious about, going there, why you want to exactly be there and so on. So we thought maybe it was you. Still lie a little bit, but, also don't reveal that, something like that. Then again, it was, it kind of said Kionna dreamed that the 3 dropped their masks and so on, but she also wears a mask, let's face it. All in all, for as we progressed, she really opened up and showed us she has the personality of a noble, I would say. So she still looks at other people like she's better and so on, which is not necessarily true and so on. Also, the achievement to find the memory fragment number 1, which I mentioned, that popped 10% of people. Do I still have the achievement that's super rare? Oh, now it's 11%. Okay. Now it's 11%. Man, it was so good to be like... What was it? Like... I think it was under 1%, right? To unlock all the archives, despite not having them unlocked. Anywho, the ship is there, as we've seen when I clicked. We'll see what exactly is going to happen. I wonder if the people there will be like, nope, it's not it's definitely not you. We don't believe that. I would not be surprised if basically a lot of people tried to get on board. A lot of people, a lot of women, I guess. Who knows, maybe some dudes are also into the prince. But basically, I would not be surprised if there were quite a few people who would try to get on the ship, and whoever decides who goes in or off or not when it comes to the set means of transportation would not be accepted, basically. So, you know, Kionna might be in a tough situation. She might not be able to get on board of the ship. Is it going to happen for? Well, we'll find out maybe tomorrow. Maybe. Let's end it. Hope you guys and not guys enjoyed. Consider liking, subscribing. Always appreciate it very, very much. Game, of course, link in the description. Go and buy it yourself. A lot of yeah. Anyway, let's end it with the message of hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.